So today Mazda revealed the 2025 CX-70, or what some might call the baby CX-90. So diving right in, the CX-70 is going to be a mid-size two-row SUV from Mazda that rides on the same large platform or large architecture as the three-row CX-90. Now this means it's going to share the exact same powertrain and engine options as the CX-90 as well. One of which is going to be the eSkyActiv PHEV, or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, with a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder producing 189 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque, paired to an AC electric motor and battery pack, which produces 173 horsepower and 199 pound-feet of torque, for a total combined output of 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, I'm not sure Mazda has confirmed the exact battery size of the CX-70, but looking at the CX-90, it's about 14.8 kilowatt hours in size with a 7.2 kilowatt level 2 onboard charger. So if this carries over to the CX-70 as well, this is going to be a very confident plug-in hybrid system for a mid-size two-row SUV and fairly quick level 2 charging speeds as well. So great to see that. Now the other powertrain available is the eSkyActiv G 3.3 liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder with the 48 volt M hybrid boost functionality, which is a mild hybrid system on that inline turbocharged 6, and that is the exact combination I reviewed in the CX-90. So make sure to check that video out after this one if you're curious about my overall thoughts on that powertrain configuration. But overall, great to see that both configurations, whether you get the plug-in hybrid or the mild hybrid system, will produce well over 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. And given Mazda's overall chassis and platform tuning, which is a little bit more handling oriented, a little bit more dynamic, fun to drive versus some of the ultimate comfort machines out there, it will definitely be interesting to drive the CX-70 because it should do very quick 0 to 60 times, fairly respectable in that regard, and also should handle and be very competent around the twisty corners as well. So great to see those two options from the CX-90 are carrying over to the smaller CX-70. Now, because this vehicle rides on the same large architecture, that will be a benefit in terms of cargo volume, both behind the second row seats and with the second row seats folded down. Now, in fact, Mazda thinks that the CX-70 will be the class leader or near the top of the class with the second row seats folded down in terms of overall cargo volume. And they even added more storage beneath the load floor in the rear as well. So you have storage beneath the floor as well as plenty of storage behind the second row seats for active lifestyles or any adventurous needs such as that. So great to see the cargo capacity will be very, very good in the CX-70. And in terms of some of the technology features that have been added to the CX-70, there's going to be Amazon Alexa integration for hands-free voice capability to make using some of these features inside the vehicle easier, such as the HVAC or some of the radio controls. The driver assistance systems have even more advanced features, such as a new unresponsive driver support that will automatically slow and stop the vehicle, pulling it over to the side of the road if it senses an unresponsive driver behind the wheel. And as you guys saw in my CX-90 review, I thought the driver assistance technology was actually fairly competent and well-rounded inside that vehicle. The eye attention whenever you looked off to the side of the vehicle, basically, sense that you need to start paying attention to alert you on the gauge cluster as well as, sound and alert tone. So to see it is even more advanced here in the CX-70, that is a great feature and hopefully will save lives, in keeping, impaired or unresponsive people in case of a medical emergency from crashing and maybe potentially even, killing themselves or other people on the road. So great to see that new advanced driver safety system. Some of the other options available on the CX-90 are going to be 21-inch wheels and 2 distinct finishes with a red leather interior option as well, likely on some of the higher trim levels. But that is great to see inside of the interior. And overall, if you look at some of the interior pictures that Mazda has provided, the CX-70 is going to look very, very similar, not only on the exterior as the CX-90, but also on the inside as well. The entire dash layout with all the controls, the steering wheel, the climate, everything like that is going to be very, very reminiscent to the larger CX-90. Again, make sure to go check out my videos on that vehicle if you're curious. But looking at some of the pictures, you're going to see many of the features do carry over with heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, memory driver seat, power front seats, tri-zone automatic climate control, USB-C charging, and the list really continues on. Most of the features that are either available in the CX-90 are going to be available in some package or trim level on the CX-70 as well. And I would not be surprised, like I mentioned earlier, with the plug-in hybrid electric version that uses a very similar sized battery pack as well as a level 2 onboard charger for that level 2 charging. And as we can see in one of the press photos as well, we can see there is an optional 120 volt outlet in the trunk or cargo area with up to 1500 watts of output, which is very impressive and great for those that like to do outdoor activities such as camping or going even tailgating and plugging in some of those other appliances. So very cool to see that they're taking advantage of some of the larger battery pack and the plug-in hybrid features with that onboard power. So I think with all that being said, that is going to wrap up this video and global reveal of the 2025 Mazda CX-70 midsize two-row SV. Now, unfortunately, I was unable to be invited out, have hands-on with this vehicle, but I'm sure I will get hands-on time, hopefully here at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show in just a little over a week at this point. I know Mazda is a new participant at that show, and hopefully the CX-70 will be in attendance, as it would be great to see, the CX-90 and the CX-70 side by side, given they are both based upon the larger platform or architecture that Mazda currently offers. Now, I expect to see these vehicles, roughly 3 to 6 months from now on dealership lots. I don't believe there is final information as far as pricing or availability of this vehicle, but I would not be surprised to see it starting sometime over the summer to be available at your local dealership for purchase. And make sure to check out some other videos I have here on the channel on both the CX-50 as well as the CX-90, as I have gotten to spend quite a bit of time with either of those two vehicles, and I think I've really had very positive thoughts all around. Of course, the CX-50 was the Meridian Edition, or the more off-road oriented one, and the CX-90 was the fully loaded Premium Plus with the 48 volt mild hybrid. But I think overall, I think they're doing a very good job with their SUVs, and definitely, growing the overall brand. Certainly expect to see more Mazda SUVs and just, vehicles on the roadway moving forward. And they are updating some of their dealerships and, touting a better buying experience and better servicing experience if you do happen to own or are interested in purchasing a new Mazda vehicle. So all around, I think Mazda is certainly improving their vehicles and their overall dealership experience, which is, I think, two key factors in obviously selling more vehicles, not only here in the United States, but other global markets as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned here on the channel for additional coverage here of the CX-70, hopefully very quickly at the Chicago Auto Show. But if not, coming over the next several months, as I am very excited to get behind the wheel. So with all that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel, these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, make sure to check out my other reviews of Mazda product here on the channel. I want to give a huge thanks to Mazda for sending this information out early for me to create this video for you guys. And as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.